Leroy Cruz here, your Life Applications Officer. And I am your Life Applications Officer. If you've tuned into my channel, I am your Life Applications Officer. If you don't like me being your Life Applications Officer, don't tune in. Okay? I have a right to have a title to my videos and a presentation of my videos just like everybody else. If you don't want me being your Life Applications Officer, don't come to my channel. Simple as that. Real quickly before I forget, I gotta say this because this is separate from the other topics. This is Good Rambling on the 23rd of November 22. We're gonna ramble. I'm gonna jump all over the place because that's where I am my best. Jumping all over the place. Trying to stick to one thing when my mind is spinning doesn't help. And getting things out as they come to me instead of saving them for later. And then when later comes, I forget what I was supposed to be talking about. I'd rather just ramble and let it out. Okay? Try it sometimes. You might like it. But, the pie. My job gave me a pie as a gift for Thanksgiving. And I thought it was going to be like, you know, one of them little super sweet, you know, make you have diabetes in 10 seconds. You know, nothing but sugar and some sauce in there to taste like applesauce. But it ain't no apples in there. You know, just a bunch of, you know, syrup and some parfait and some flour and, you know. But no, I actually had to this pie came frozen. I had to actually put it in the oven, and I took it out of the oven, and I took a piece, and I said, you know what, I got to save this for Thanksgiving Day. Because I'm going to go get some ice cream and put some ice cream on that pie and make me some a la mode. Because that's my favorite dessert. Thanks, the YouTuber that asked that. Thank you for asking me that. Because now I'm getting back to my favorite dessert. My favorite things that I love to eat are less diabetic than the things that I'm forced to eat. Okay? But, first off, I want to say this about women, and men too. But women do it more than men do it. And that is, why whenever you're talking about your life, you talk about everything but your husband. Now, this news anchor here is Faulkner. She's a Republican. I love to watch her talk. She's a very pretty lady. Why are all these conservatives married to white people? Like, I understand we're conservative, and being a conservative, we're supposed to protect white people because that's one of the things in our country that we as conservatives understand. Everybody's trying to destroy even white people themselves. They're trying to destroy anything cultural about white people, any kind of artifacts about white people. They're trying to just destroy it. And we know as black conservatives that if you destroy white people and white culture, where does that leave us? Because we don't have a country to go back to. We don't have a culture to go back to. We're the lower level of white culture. You know what I'm saying? If the white man give us a song, we're going to turn it into rap music. Okay? If he shows us how to do a dance, we're going to turn it into twerking. Okay? If he shows us how to shoot a gun, we're going to go out and shoot all of our black counterparts, including the children. Okay? If the white man show us how to do business, we're going to sell drugs. Okay? If he tries to make marijuana legal, we're going to just smoke it everywhere and annoy everybody before it ever becomes legal. Okay? I mean, whatever the white man teaches us, we just ghettoify it. Okay? And I know, like, what a way to start a conversation about black folks, but no apology. No apology. No apology whatsoever. Because that's where we're at. And that's another thing I have to talk about in this video. But let's get back to this. Why does all these women, like Brandon Tatum is married to a white woman, Candace Owens is married to a white man. I just found out that Harris Faulkner is married to a Jewish man. He ain't no Hebrew Israelite. He's a Jew, a white Jew, Israel, okay? The nation of Israel, the one that we can see with our eyes, not the one that the Hebrew Israelite cult is trying to dream up, but the one we can see with our eyes today. We can actually get on a plane and land there. That Israel. That's where he's from, born and raised. So it seems like everybody that goes conservative starts to either have no wife or husband at all, or they marry somebody outside the race. Even me, like, I've given up on black women. Like, I meet a black woman and I'm thinking, man, there's a black woman right there that I wouldn't mind getting to know. And then she starts talking about her political views, and it's okay if our political views are different until she acts like she's going to spend her life beat me over the head with her side of the political view. I mean, no, you're not, sweetheart. Because I'm a strong black man, just like you a so-called strong black woman. And I know you ain't that strong of a black woman, because if you was that strong of a black woman, you wouldn't be no daggone Democrat. And trying to defend that garbage, okay, when you don't know nothing about it. You think the party switched. They got you thinking Donald Trump is a racist. You're an idiot. I don't want to say idiot. You're lost. It's a lie. It's a scam. And you fell for it. You ain't no strong black woman. Don't tell me that. Any woman that chooses the Democratic Party and then the only defense she has is stuff that she sees on TV, because she got all these white people to back her up in hating the Republicans, and she got all these black people even more so to back her up on hating Republicans and calling everything about the Republican Party racist. That's not a strong black woman. That's a ghetto chick. That's a ghetto whore. That's what that is. Sorry. You a hood rat with a coochie. That's what you are. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no clue what you're talking about. Okay? Just like it really don't, compared to what black people, I'm going to say it one more time, compared to what black people call racist every day we deal with racist white people every day. Our landlord is racist. Our boss at work is racist. Our co-workers is racist. Our teachers at schools are racist. The cops are racist. Everybody in the military was racist when I was in the service. Okay, look here. According to black people, it does not matter if Donald Trump is racist, because every time a black man or black woman disagrees with anybody white about anything, they automatically become racist. I have bad news for you. You just don't want to admit that they're better. You're jealous because you're taking it personal that you got hit with the storm. You walked into that butt whooping. That conversation that whooped your butt. You walked into that like a dummy. And now you want to take one for the team when it's not just you. It's not about you. It's about your whole race, sweetheart. Knock on your next door neighbor. He's probably a hood rat Democrat too. Okay? that don't know what the heck he's talking about. Okay? We don't need a Democrat Party. That's the way I feel about it. You can get rid of it. You do not need a Democratic Party. What are we supporting other than you can force a Republican to get free stuff? If you give the Republican man in office an offer he can't refuse, he'll give you free stuff. You want free stuff, you want better health care or whatever, that's worth fighting for. That's where we should be fighting. But fighting for homosexuality, I got better things to do. Because ain't nobody got no business being gay. That's right, I said it. Just got done listening to Charles Barkley. Brandon Tatum listening to Charles Barkley. Again, after I already listened to him. And I love what Brandon had to say. I just think it's funny how Brandon is hard on black folks until Charles Barkley decided to be hard on black folks. But I think he's wrong because I think Brandon's right because black people are so busy becoming more and more gay today, they really don't have time to hate on gays. So for Barkley to say, well, black people are the people that hate gays the most. No, white people are. And that's because white people got sense. They got common sense. It's wrong. That's all it's true. It doesn't really necessarily mean hate. It's wrong. And that's my ground. The faster you persecute me and chop my head off, okay, and put me through the fiery furnace, the faster Jesus will come back. He ain't coming back because we agreed on everything. He's coming back because the Christians got up on their high horse and stood up to y'all and said, hey, we don't agree with none of this stuff. You ain't got no business being gay. There ain't no such thing as LGBTQ. That's a made-up cult. And then Brandon, now Brandon wants to change his story. And another one said, well, now we got this new line that says, oh, well, just do you, boo. Like, if you want to be gay, if you want to be this, you want to be that. Where at? If you want to be gay, where? You already said gay people should keep it to themselves. Okay. So when you say, oh, if you want to be gay, where at? See, that's why we're not equal. You can't, don't nobody want to see you in the corner. We barely want to see heterosexuals in the corner. We definitely don't want to see two guys in the corner. Or two lesbians. Okay? So, yeah, do you, boo, over there. Have some goddamn respect for the fact that still in America, the majority around you are not gay. Neither do they support you. They tolerate you, like I keep telling you. They tolerate you. They're not supporting you. How much money did you get for being gay? How much money did you get for being transgender? Who's paying your medical bills? Are you paying them out of your pocket? Are you paying them out of grants that you use for school? How are you paying your medical bills? Ain't nobody paying your bills for you. They don't support you. Even the people on the news, even the Democrats. Joe Biden don't support you. How much money did Joe Biden invest in your gayness? That's going to actually help you be a better gay person. Only thing he's investing in is keeping Donald Trump from coming back into office and making y'all sit in the back. Like you should have never came up to the front in the first place. Go to the back of the church with all the other heathens. You don't belong up here. It ain't your job as a homosexual to match everything gay with everything straight. Yes, we're privileged because we're normal. We're privileged. Oh, YouTube's going to have to take this one down because I ain't even got started yet. Yes, we are privileged compared to you. Go to the back of the church if you ain't saved. And sit there. You don't plan on repenting, so go to the back. The front's for saints. And don't ever get in my face and tell me something about you saved and gay at the same time. Yeah. I'm D-Roy Cruz and the Terminator, okay, at the same time. Say hello to my little friend. Go to the back. Show some respect. You know it ain't normal. Stop trying to match. Stop trying to get some respect that you don't deserve. You're not my equal. We're not equal. Only thing we're equal about is I'm going to give you space just like you give me space to do your job, whatever that is. But the minute you grab your boyfriend's hand, the minute you kiss your boyfriend, the minute you tell me that you're gay when I didn't ask you if you was gay, the minute you try to defend another gay person, you just made yourself small and we're not equal. Keep it to yourself. We don't want to know about it. Keep it to yourself. You're not my equal. I'm human. And whatever, and this is where God, Jesus, and the Bible comes in. Whatever I struggle in my thought life, whatever makes me get an erection or whatever, I understand one thing. No matter what I feel like, this better be the way I behave. No matter what I feel like, it's not, as the Bible says, it's not what goes into a man. It's what comes out. So whatever I feel and whatever crazy thoughts I'm thinking, I can give that over to the obedience of Christ, as the Bible puts it. But I'm not to go over there and give it a shot. I was thinking about him. I'm going to strike that conversation. I'm going to ask him. I'm thinking about him. I think I'm going to ask him for his digits. Thinking about the little boy. I think I'll ask him to come over for cookies and milk. Transgender dude's the prettiest female I've ever seen, even though he's not really a female. I'll see if he wants to move in with me and be my little whooping girl. Little anal sex never killed anybody. Until you got AIDS. And STDs. But I could think that all I want to. Just like you do. That's why you fighting and protesting. Okay? And hating and getting mad. Because that's the way you think. Okay? It's all over our schools. You can't hide this. You can't make this stuff up. It's happening in real time. That's why I'm not leaving Pennsylvania. Because everything that you go through around this globe, Pennsylvania is the last to go through it. But our time is coming. But I could think anything I want to think and repent. But one thing I won't do is let my lust or let my evil desires become justified as good desires when everybody knows they're evil. There ain't nothing that I should be doing with a child other than raising that child to be biologically what he is biologically. And if I can't do that, give him up for an adoption. There ain't no such thing as abortion. There ain't no reason for me to kill a child. If God wants that child dead, he'll die. Just like my mother had 2 miscarriages. That's why I'm the only child. My mom never had to worry about aborting her other 2 kids that came before me. God took them. God wants you to have an abortion. You don't need to kill your child. God will take him or her. But this Harris Faulkner was running her mouth about her faith. And two things she didn't do. One she ain't done for the whole entirety of the video, and the one she didn't do until the young man got her to mention it. First of all, she talking about faith, talking about being a Christian. She didn't mention Jesus not once. Catholics think they're Christians. Muslims think they're Christians. Okay? Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses think they're Christians. Okay? There's only one thing that makes you a Christian, and that is the sacrifice and believing in that sacrifice of Jesus Christ. If there's no Jesus, you ain't no Christian. She did all that talking about her faith. Faith, faith, faith. Faith in what? And didn't mention Jesus once. Secondly, and this really disturbs me, because I can accidentally talk about my faith myself and forget to mention Jesus, forget to mention the Lord, and I have. But what really disturbed me was she didn't talk about her husband. And I knew she had one. They all do. They all do like clockwork. You can't be a successful woman, okay, without a husband. You need somebody to claim that you got possession. You need to have possessions. You need to have things that you own. You know. Or somebody will make you feel sorry, they'll make you feel down because you don't have a husband, and vice versa, a man having a wife. So the young man, he's listening to her, and then he starts to ask her questions about her family and her husband. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's funny you asked. No, it's not. You should have mentioned that a half an hour ago. You talking about your life in the present. You wrote a book. The book is selling like hotcakes. You wrote a book. You were sharing your faith. Come to find out, her husband is the faithful one. Her husband is the one that's encouraging her and brought her up and encouraged her to be a better woman than she is. But she wasn't going to mention him. And men aren't as bad at this as women are. Even men mention their wives all day long to women that they're cheating with. Okay? Every woman out there that sleeps with a man behind his wife's back, she knows a lot about his wife. Not only because she's going to ask questions, because that's how women are, they pay attention to detail. Why are you with me? Okay? She wants to know, why are you with me in the first place? Okay? What is your wife doing wrong that you with me? Okay? Women are worse at this than men. Women will go out there and mess around with a guy, and the guy will ask about her husband. Why you gotta ask about my husband? We're doing our thing. You don't want him involved, yeah, but I mean, obviously he doing something wrong that you with me. He's an egotistical maniac a-hole. What can I say? Oh, well, why don't you just leave him then? We're going to do our thing or not? Like, do we need to talk about my husband? That's the way women are. But men will talk about their wives while they flirting with another woman. And women will ask a man. Because all the women that, tried to connect with me after I broke up with my wife, the first thing out of their mouth was asking me about my ex-wife. First thing comes out of their mouth. But the first thing that comes out of their mouth ain't their husband. Wait. You married? Wait a minute. You wasn't going to tell me that you're not completely divorced yet? You weren't going to tell me that? I believe women are the biggest liars in America. I'm only going to be on this in a minute. Women are the biggest liars in America. They lie every time they put clothes on. Just saw a video last night about a young cheerleader. I don't know if I don't think she was high school. I think she was college. And some of her followers asked her, said, hey, the females, they asked her and they told her, they said, hey, you don't wear a bra, do you? It looks like you're not wearing a bra. You should wear a bra. So she felt insulted by the fact that they told her you should wear a bra. It's safer for you because of what you do, and it's more moral. It's more, what's that word? Modest to wear a bra up under your outfit. It's not like you got a flat chest and there ain't nothing in there flapping. So what does she do? She pulls her blouse up and shows half her breasts. Okay? This got censored and taken down from, I think even TikTok took her down. I forget, but like 3 different sites took her down for doing that. And she came back like a few hours later. I'm getting the results. She was suspended, she said. And the only reason why they suspended her was because her pulling that blouse up like that went viral, and people began to complain, and they probably said nasty things about the school that she goes to, that they're letting her do this. Why would a young, beautiful girl who can get any guy she wants, who's a cheerleader, she's in great health and shape, beautiful, blonde, white girl, you know what I mean? Everywhere she goes, she's an eye drop with her breasts completely covered up. She's a bomb. She's the bomb wherever she goes. Why does she need to not wear a bra? What is her problem with modesty? Which goes back to everything that, Brandon was saying today on his talk about Charles Barkley. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't hate homosexuals. Okay? But I don't necessarily like them either. There's only one homosexual that I actually love, and that's my daughter. I love my daughter. That don't mean that I'm going to condone her homosexuality. You? Get out my car. You? Leave the room. Go to the back of the bus. This is for mature adults up here. This ain't for perverted people, as the Bible calls you. Perverted persons. Not perverted persons up here. Know your place. And now more and more people are coming out and saying, oh, hey, homosexuals. Okay. Stop. Right there. You don't hate homosexuals. That's the only thing you owe them. No, there's no, oh, you do you, boo. No, don't. Where at? Where at? Not over here. Do it over there. Well, we ain't got to look at it. You cannot make me, and it's not fair that you make me, adjust to the scenery of the crime. I don't have to condone anything you do. No, there is no There is no you do you, boo. I'm never going to say that ever again. I said that too, but I'm never going to say that ever again. Because you're not helping anybody by saying that. Did I tell you that homosexuality was wrong? Trust me. Even if there wasn't any God, it would be wrong. Your conscience would, even if God didn't exist, your conscience still tells you it's morally and biologically wrong. It's wrong. LGBTQ and all the other letters that they stole out of the alphabet is wrong. Wrong. And we're all, just like we're all going to die, science is not going to stop that for us. Eating right and having the best sex and exercising and all that is not going to make you live longer. When it's your time to go, you going. I just heard last night about an athlete, and it was pronounced here on TV. He's around my age. He's younger than me, actually. I'm 56. He's 53. He was an athlete. He was an athlete when he died, and overnight he just, bam, gone. There was nothing wrong with the dude. He just had a heart attack and died. No diabetes, no high blood pressure, no diseases whatsoever, no cancer, no nothing. He just died at 53. God took him out of here. It wasn't an act of science. It wasn't an act of bad medicine. It wasn't an act of gravity. It wasn't just the nature of things. God took him out of here. I'm not going to lie to you and act like I'm confused about what you're doing. And because I'm homophobic, please don't do that around me. I don't want you doing nothing around me that I have the power to keep from happening around me. And then I got to answer to God for your foolishness. When I get to the pearly gates and I stand before God, I don't want to talk about you. I don't want you coming up in my conversation with God. Why are you hanging out with him so much? Why were you, it seems like you were encouraging him to be even more gay. You know he's not coming up here. You know he's not invited to the party. Why are you wasting your time? If he wanted to be saved, D-Roy, you'd have been standing there with open arms ready to receive him into the congregation of the saints. But he thinks that he's higher. As he gets gayer and gayer, he thinks he's getting higher and higher. But he's not invited to the party. So he's not higher. I'm not going to be responsible for condoning or encouraging anybody to continue in the dispensation that they're in. Whether it be drugs, alcohol, fornication, homosexuality, prostitution, transgenderism, whatever it may be. And I want to say this real quick. I'm not confused about what's going on. The Bible says in several places in the Bible that God will take his Holy Spirit from the earth in the last days. And it says God will give men and women over to their debased minds. Okay? He will give you over to the demons that are already influencing you. He will give those demons complete control over you. And homosexuality is a demon. It's a demon spirit. LGBTQ and all the mother letters that they stole from the alphabet is more than one demon. At least 2 or 3. With the legions to go with them. It's not that I hate homosexuals. But I'll tell you one thing. I don't like you being around me. I like there to be plenty of space. And, you know, I got friends at work that are gay. I got friends that I know in the neighborhood that are gay, if I want to call them my friends. Okay? But they know that when they come around me, leave the gayness at home. They know I'm a Christian. They start talking that, you know, equality stuff. We're going to have a problem. No, Brandon. It ain't no do you boo. Oh, you going to do you boo. But over there, get it out of my face. I am not obligated to tolerate or like or care or be concerned or agree with homosexuality or any other thing in the LGBTQ community. If I keep my hands off you, if I vow to God to not show any act of violence or anger or abuse of you verbally or physically to you, I've done my job. And I will protect you if I'm in a situation where other people want to harm you because of you being gay. And I do it all the time. I de-escalate a situation before somebody gets to that point where they want to put their hands on a homosexual. I let them know, bye, leave. We don't need that attitude around here. The dude ain't doing nothing to you. You take one look at the dude and get angry. Get out of here. Before I call a cop. Before I call a real cop. Get out of here with that nonsense. Ain't nobody, you don't look at somebody and then just want to hurt them. Get out of here with that. But that same dude is not obligated to feel any kind of way and any kind of respect whatsoever to a homosexual. Yeah, you do you, boo. Out my face. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to have no involvement with it. When we say, you do you, boo, that's what we mean. Enough of that. I believe most women lie every time they put clothes on to leave the house. You think all you got to do is at home is show your skin. But when you get out in public, everybody want to run their tongue across that skin. The men. Not just your man, but everybody that's in a room with you. They just want to touch you. They just want to squeeze you. And you love it because you're a liar. You're not faithful to your husband. Sure, you haven't cheated on your husband, but you have been unfaithful. See, unfaithful is a bigger word. Everybody is unfaithful to God when you don't follow God and do what he told you to do. You're unfaithful to God. Even you that ain't saved are unfaithful to God. Wives are naturally unfaithful to their husbands. This is why you cannot, like a lot of black men today, like Brother Polite is doing, call the woman God. She's a whore. Well, I wouldn't say whore. A hoe. Because every time you put clothes on to go out on a town, it's a slap in your husband's face. Especially if he ain't going with you. And even if he's with you, you're not wearing it for him. Or you'd save the show off for when you get home. But no, you're dressed like that because you want all these hundreds of men that you know they can't have you. And you know you ain't going to sleep with them, but you want them to wish and drool and hope and pray that they will eventually sleep with you. Your bust is not part of your outfit. That split going up your leg all the way to your panties is not part of your outfit. You are simply improperly dressed. In closing, Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I watched this week. I watched Law and Order Special Victims Unit. There was an episode where there was, matter of fact, there was two of them back to back. I forget what one of them was about. But one I haven't seen before, and it was an episode where they came across this preacher who had a church. And he raised his son to have disrespect for women in Jesus' name. Like there is a such thing. Okay? And because he followed in the footsteps of his dad, he raped a woman. He raped a young girl that was in his youth group. And he said he did not rape her. It was love. It was, he was sicko in his mind. He don't know the difference between rape and making love with your girlfriend behind her parents' back or your parents' back. No, you didn't just mess around behind the parents' backs. You raped this girl. You forced her when she said no. And your dad taught you that that's what we do in the church because we are not sinners. You cannot condemn us. That is not the Christian community in real time. You got cops who have raped women. You got cops who have, brutalized some of their suspects into victims. Okay? You got doctors who sexually assault their female patients. Okay? You got lawyers. You got companies, CEOs of companies making all the women in the company that wear short skirts go down on them. Okay? To keep on getting them bonuses and moving up the corporate ladder. A Christian is no different. He's in a position where he has to uphold what is right, and he chose to go against his faith and sin. Just like the cop went against his precinct and went against law and order and committed that crime. Just like the lawyer, the doctor. You went against everything you stood for and went against holiness and modesty and goodwill. You did a criminal act. But when a Christian does it, oh, we're loony. In Law and Order, they're one of them kind of programs. Every single program, especially the ones where the word Jesus might come out of somebody's mouth, and it doesn't. They don't say the word Jesus on TV that much, as they should. But we know what religion, according to the scriptures that he used as a mission statement for his faith, we know that he's in one of them Jesus cults, as you would put it. He's part of some Christian organization or some Christian congregation. And you think that we all, that's what they're trying to teach us. That we all are sick in the head like that. Becoming a Christian makes you sick in the head. And the majority of us, that's a lie. The majority of us are rapists. The majority of us will rape our women, will abuse our women. The majority of us, according to Olivia and her new officers, every time you come on to a scene where there's a victim, she's a victim because she's a Christian. She's a victim because her parents are Christians. She's a victim because her brother is a Christian. And he has a wee-wee like everybody else. So therefore, there's no justification for this Christian. He should have known better. But the cop should have known better too. The lawyer should know better than too. The doctor, oh my God. While more doctors are helping you and showing you and teaching you how to kill your babies. And getting paid big money for it. And then I watched this movie last night. It was about this young man who lived in a certain part of Colorado. I believe it was part of Colorado, way out in the country. And I might put the title of the movie in the description. I wish Netflix had like a memory bank for everything I watch. So I could go back and, what was the name of that movie I watched? But I watched the movie. It was pretty good. However, everybody in two totally different parts of the state were Christians. The boy's mom was a Christian. The husband, dad was a Christian. And his whole family, his whole side of family, they were all Christians. And then the boys that beat up his sister, the preacher who molested his sister, his adopted sister, and they were all Christians. All the bad people were Christians. One Christian dude was even taking his wife and picking up men and making these men sleep with his wife. And then he would kill them after they slept with his wife. But he was a deacon in a church. Everybody in this film was Christian. They all went to church. The boy went to church. Now the good thing is, there's only one moral to the story. All the rest of them are lies. But the one moral to the story is the boy, although he was tough, he did not turn the other cheek when it came to the devil or anybody human. He did not turn the other cheek. And so they told him he wasn't, he went after every bully. He went after every man that put his hands on his women, his sister. He killed the preacher. He shot him in cold blood. The preacher that raped and got his sister pregnant. He dealt with it all. But his dad killed himself because God wouldn't heal his wife of cancer. People went to jail. They all got killed. Everybody got killed. They were all Christian and they all got killed. Are you kidding me? This story is fictional as Santa Claus. It doesn't happen that way. Sure, there's bad Christians out there. We just got done talking about Pastor Eddie Long, and the pastor that took his place, he's a piece of work. He's a total tool bag too. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these people. But there's still not as many hypocrites and Christians out there that should call themselves children of the devil instead of children of God. There's still not that much nonsense going on in the Christian community as Law and Order would like you to think. Or this crazy movie. I think I put it in one of the videos that I did here. But that movie on Netflix called The Old Guard. It must be hit because it's still on there. It's been on there for 3 years now. They never moved it. I can go watch it again if I want to. It was okay. It could have been better. But the female in that film, same girl to play Resident Evil, she was an atheist. The lead actor in the film, within the film, was an atheist. And the black girl believed in God because she grew up in the church with her family. And they fought back and forth about that. And she said some heinous things about God and where is God? If I do this, will God save you? And blah, 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 blah. She's really ignorant. It's a real ignorant trick. Okay? But what they're doing in television today, and I'm closing, they are trying to help the atheists, or these films are probably written by atheists. A lot of films on Netflix lately about demons and God and angels and, orgies and rapes and all kinds of sexual crimes being done in the Christian community within these movies. And yes, there are Christians that fall into these bandwagons with their secular counterparts. However, the numbers within the Christian community are going to be lower than everybody else's numbers. Sure, Christians, they fall into these bad, sad situations too, but their numbers are going to be lower. Just like black and white. The numbers will always be lower for white people. Yeah, white people shoot people. White people do, active shooter. White people do more active shooting than black folks do. But black people kill the people every day, including children. not only with guns, they put them in the microwave, put them in the oven, burn them to death, do crazy things. The numbers will always be lower when you put the whole state together, of any state. The numbers will always be lower for whites and Asians than for blacks and Spanish. Blacks having the highest number of all of domestic crimes, of active shooter crimes, rape, molestation. Black on black crime is the biggest thing in America. There's countries, we done went outside America. There's countries where black people make up 1%. And there's black on black crime. In a country where black people are 1% of the entire country. How is that? I am DeRoy Cruz. I am your Life Applications Officer. Thank you for watching. There will be more. And you will be right here to hear it. Because, I am your Life Applications Officer, and that's the way you want me to stay. You wouldn't want me to be anything else but myself. Right? God bless you. Have a nice day.